afternoon, Dunkirk and Fredonia listeners, and welcome back to News at Noon. News at Noon is brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. I'm News Director Lee Pye, here today with my news assistants Maisie Strader, Sara Lodespoto, Joshua Ribakove, as well as Hunter Halterman and Sports Director Matt Volz. With this top-of-the-hour update, we'll bring you the latest on SUNY Fredonia's campus news and events, sports, weather, and music, as well as national and international news. First up, let's go to the event bulletin for this week. Sigma Tau Delta and Writers Ring is collabing to host an open mic. Anyone can join the event to show off their works for writing, poetry, magic tricks, playing live music, and more. This event will be held in the Fenton Lounge, where the vending machines are on the first floor, and will be on October 28th at 3 p.m. Sound Services is hosting Rocktoberfest. Rocktoberfest will feature performances from Eldwood Creek, the Ryan Terry Family Band, and We Were Blank. All are welcome to join us for pizza and a costume contest. This event will be held on Sunday, October 29th from 5 to 9 p.m. in the Williams Center, MPR. Dr. Amy Schiller's talk, Gradually Then Suddenly, How Techno-Optimism Took Over Philanthropy, This talk will focus on the rise of financialized language like return of investment and the acceleration of philanthropy, focused on artificial intelligence, space travel, and humanity's long-term future. This event will be hosted on Wednesday, November 1st from 12 to 1 p.m. in the Williams Center, S204 ABCD. Fredonia Radio Systems is hosting the Great Ghostly Games. The scavenger hunt consists of collecting pictures around campus, and whoever gets the most pictures on the list wins. The spooky event will be held in the Fredonia Radio Systems lobby, McEwen 115, on October 27th at 6 p.m. That's it for the information through the grapevines. Next up, we'll bring it to Maisie for our latest campus news updates.
Currently taking place right now, 12 to 2, is the Rosa Parks Scholarship Ceremony, where 3 powerful students will be awarded $350. Entries for the scholarship were given back on the 11th, where students showed their passion through writing, speaking, dancing, drawing, singing, and many more, to show experiences in multiculturalism and diversity. Go on down to the Horizon Lounge in the Williams Center to congratulate the lucky winners. Saturday, October 28th, join the Black Student Union on a walk to raise awareness on domestic violence. Walk will start at 12:15 while registration starts at 10. Bring your parents, friends, and head over to the Williams Center patio. Along with the walk, there will be a guest speaker and many other resources spreading awareness among domestic violence survivors. The walk will end at the clock tower. T-shirts are available to buy online and on the walk. Just in case, the rain location will be held in the Blue Lounge. There are many fun things planned for this Parents' Weekend. First, take your parents to the small food truck rodeo happening in the Jewett parking lot, where you will find Lugia's on Wheels, Best of Buffalo by Byron, and Cheesy Chick, where they will be serving their most delicious foods. Remember, you pay at the truck. At the same time, 11 to 3, there will be a trunk or treat to dress up. Right after that, the 3 a cappella group Some Like It Hot and Much More Chill is having a Some Like It Chill Monster Mash. It's like the Pitch Perfect of my dreams Halloween collab. Remember to also wear your best costumes. There are many, many more things planned for Parents' Weekend, which you can find online. That's it for campus news. Now let's send it back to Lee.
Thanks, Maisie. Next up, we have local news. Sandra Maggio, a local photographer, pursued her passion for photography with her professional career at the age of 70. She made a brand for herself called Untouched Images. She deep dived into not only photography, but also physical art and poetry. She is currently working on a new book titled Finding Peace in Times Like These. Over 50 of Maggio's photos will be on display in Fredonia. Maggio will have a one-person show at the Next Chapter bookstore, 12 Park Place, Fredonia, on October 25th, which is today, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Fredonia Central School District officially terminated its contract with Siemens for its capital project. Siemens submitted the lowest bid for the capital project. The superintendent, Brad Zillox, addressed the situation, saying, quote, "At this point, we felt like we were better moving on from the contractor that we had in play initially, which means that we will go back to the bid, and then another group will come and facilitate this work. That's where we are at right now. It's unfortunate that it didn't go as we hoped or planned, but we adjust and adapt and we'll find another way," end quote. The capital project has been broken into 2 phases. The district has already approved Phase 2 at an earlier meeting of the Fredonia Board of Education. Phase 2 of the project includes installation of a teller window and a wheel clock school, along with a coiled fire shutter. Young and Wright Architecture is overseeing this capital project. That's it for your local news update. Let's send it to the sports guy, Matt Volz.
Thanks, Lee. The men's and women's cross-country teams continue to prepare for this weekend's SUNYAC Championships on Saturday. The men's race will begin at 11 a.m. while the women's race goes off at noon. This year's championships are being hosted by Oneonta. The volleyball team has a few days off before heading on the road for a pair of SUNYAC matchups this weekend. The Blue Devils will face Potsdam at 6 p.m. on Friday and Plattsburgh at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Fredonia's overall record currently sits at 3-17, and they are 1-6 in conference play. The hockey team is set for a trip to the Midwest as they open up their regular season this weekend against Trine University in Angola, Indiana. Start times for the 2 weekend contests are scheduled for 7 p.m. on Friday and 4 p.m. on Saturday. Fredonia's first home game will be at 7 p.m. on Friday, November 10th, when they host conference rival Buff State. The men's soccer season has come to an end following last Saturday's 3-0 loss to New Paltz. The Blue Devils finished their season at 5-8-4 overall and 1-7-1 in SUNYAC play. The women's soccer team finished their season strong with a 1-0 win over New Paltz last Saturday. Fredonia finished the year at 6-8-2 overall and 3-5-1 against conference opponents. And finally, the men's and women's swimming and diving teams will look to rebound from last week's losses when they host Baldwin Wallace at 1 p.m. on Saturday. The men's team enters the meet at 0-2, while the women's team sits at 1-1. Well, the 2023 World Series matchup is set as the Texas Rangers will face the Arizona Diamondbacks. Texas sealed the American League Championship with an 11-4 rout of the defending World Series champion Houston Astros in Game 7 of the ALCS on Monday. Arizona, staying true to form, came back to defeat the defending National League champion Philadelphia Phillies 4-2 in Game 7 of the NLCS on Tuesday. This is the first time in MLB history that teams have gone on the road to win Games 6 and 7 in both championship series. Game 1 is slated for Friday night at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. The Buffalo Sabres bounced back from a Monday night loss to defeat the Ottawa Senators 6-4 on Tuesday night in Ottawa. Sabres forwards Jeff Skinner and Tage Thompson each scored twice, while forward Alex Tuck recorded a Gordie Howe hat trick, a combination of a goal, an assist, and a fight. The game was not as close as the final score indicates, as Buffalo held a 5-1 lead for much of the third period before Ottawa attempted a late rally. The win improved the Sabres' record to 3-4, and they will head to New Jersey for a Friday night matchup with the Devils, who are coached by former Sabres head coach Lindy Ruff. Puck drop is slated for 7 p.m. And finally, the Buffalo Bills received some tough news on Monday, as tight end Dawson Knox will need to undergo wrist surgery. As of right now, there is no set timetable for his return, according to Bills head coach Sean McDermott. Rookie tight end Dalton Kincaid, who recorded his highest receiving totals in last week's loss to New England, will look to fill the void left behind by Knox. The Bills are back in action tomorrow night as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football. The game will be broadcast on Amazon Prime Video and will be picked up locally by Channel 7 WKBW. Kickoff is scheduled for 8:15 p.m. That's it for your sports update. Let's send it to Sara for the weather.
Now, here is your Northern Chautauqua weather update brought to you by Fredonia Radio Systems.
Hey y'all, how we doing today? I'm going to coin today as Windy Wednesday since the strong fall breezes and the high cloud cover. Besides that, go out for a walk due to the nice 72 degrees. The clouds stay for the night as it drops into the low 60s. Thursday is defrosting us from the cold weather with the high of 75. The gloomy clouds and high wind speeds contradicts the good temperature the sun provides. But hey, it's something and I'll take it. Following us into the night, the clouds bring us showers and cools us to the low 60s. That's it for your 2-day weather. Keep listening and I'll be back with the rest of your weekend forecast. For now, let's take it to Lee for a local music update.
Last Call is hosting at BJ's 4 bands on November 2nd, where you'll be hearing the Ethic Committee, Auto Ignition, Bliss Fields, and TTTT with Jacob King. BJ's is at 51 West Main Street in Fredonia. Doors are at 9 p.m. and music is at 10 p.m. That's all I have for music news this week. Let's bring it to Josh for national and international news.
Here are some recent updates on the conflict in the Middle East. Yesterday, the United Nations Security Council hosted an emergency meeting in New York. During the meeting, UN Security General Antonio Guterres made comments that infuriated Israel's ambassador for the UN, Gilad Erdan. Guterres reportedly said that the Hamas attack from October 7th that caused the current conflict, quote, did not happen in a vacuum chamber, end quote. Erdogan called for the Security General to resign, stating, he doesn't really care for the suffering of the Israeli civilians. The UN is failing, and you, Mr. Secretary General, have lost all morality and impartiality, end quote. And today, the leader of Lebanon's Hezbollah group met in Beirut with senior figures from Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad militant groups. According to Hezbollah-run and Lebanese state media, their goal is to, quote, secure a real victory for the resistance in Gaza and Palestine, end quote. Meanwhile, Syrian state media reported today that an Israeli airstrike has hit the international airport in the city of Aleppo, damaging the runway and putting it out of service. The Gaza Health Ministry reports that the death toll has reached 6,546 deaths, and a leading aid group claims that fuel supplies for refugee camps could run out tonight. You may recall a story a couple weeks ago about Pride tape in the National Hockey League. Well, in case you missed it, the NHL's commissioner had previously banned the rainbow-colored athletic tape that had adorned players' hockey sticks in the summer. Pride tape has been used in support of the LGBTQ+ community, as players have been using it on NHL Pride nights for several years now. Yesterday, however, the NHL released a statement that said, quote, players will now have the option to voluntarily represent social causes with their stick tape throughout the season, end quote. This decision came after Travis Dermott, the defenseman of the Arizona Coyotes, became the first player to defy the ban by using Pride tape in a game last Saturday. Dermott says that he has received tons of support from family, friends, players, and media folks as a result of standing up against the ban. He stated, quote, I've been blessed to have some of those opportunities put in front of me to really change my view of what being a good person means, what being a good father and a good example and role model means going forward, end quote. The makers of Pride Tape expressed their gratitude to the people that supported the Stick Up for Pride Tape campaign on Twitter, with a post that said how happy they are that hockey players can now voluntarily represent important social causes. Saturday saw the injury of 2 police officers in La Verna, Tennessee, when John Drake Jr. shot officers Ashley Bullyjack and Gregory Kern. Bullyjack and Kern were investigating a stolen vehicle outside the Dollar General store when the suspect pulled out a handgun and shot them. Both officers were treated and released from the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The suspect, John Drake Jr., is the estranged son of Metro Nashville Police Department Chief John Drake. On a statement Saturday, Chief Drake expressed that his son has not been a part of his life for some time, stating, quote, despite my efforts and guidance in the early and teenage years, my son, John Drake Jr., now 38 years old, resorted to years of criminal activity and is a convicted felon, end quote. After a manhunt lasting 4 days, John Drake Jr. was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound after a police chase in the stolen car, according to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. That does it for today's national and international news. Now let's hear it from Sara for the rest of this week's weather forecast.
Y'all, I can't stay warm for long. I know, it's a harsh reality check, but make these warm days count while they're still around. Friday kicks off not only Halloween weekend, but also family weekend, with the high of 73 and a mixture of rain and sun. I'm glad when my parents come to visit, they can see how beautiful Western New York is. The clouds and showers continue into the night while it drops into the low 60s. Saturday is a great day to play Where's the Sun instead of Where's Waldo, due to the high cloud covering and a cool 63. Told y'all it won't last into the 70s forever, but I still have hope for one more good day. I would not suggest going out for your Saturday night walk since it will be pretty chilly that night with clouds in the low 50s. Totally not because there will be a full moon and I'm afraid of werewolves coming out for Halloween weekend. And just like that, we're back with our typical fall weather on Sunday with cloudy showers and a high of 58. It might not be a nice day to go outside, but it's a nice day for your Halloween movies. Make sure you guys come for your pets that evening since the downpour will turn into a thunderstorm in the mid-40s. That's it for your weekend forecast. Let's take it right back to Lee.
That'll wrap today's edition of News at Noon. Campus News is written and read by Maisie Strader. Local news for this broadcast is prepared by Lee Pye. Weather is presented by Sara Lodespoto. Sports is presented by Matt Volz. Music is prepared by Lee Pye. National and international news is prepared by Joshua Ribakove. And finally, board operations for this broadcast are performed by Hunter Halterman. Thanks for tuning in to News at Noon. Join us every Monday and Wednesday at 12 p.m. on WCVF 88.9 and WDVL 89.5. From all of us at Fredonia Radio Systems, have a wonderful day.